Hi everyone. Today is the 21st of March, but I won't be posting this video up immediately on this day. I'm going to be doing like a little unboxing and preview of a vintage cookbook, which I recently got. I'm so excited to see this. Unfortunately, I asked, like, and ordered for the hardcover version. I ended up getting the binder. I'm not sure what's up with that, but whatever, it's going to be the same contents. And this is the original 1950 Betty Crocker's picture cookbook, which obviously it's of its time. In addition to the vintage recipes, it also has like outdated cooking equipment. Like, who in their right mind uses asbestos warming mats anymore? And I'm told like the coffee pots, well, I don't drink coffee, like almost never anyway, but the coffee pots are like, no one born after 1950 will know what they are. And of course, that presumption that the woman is going to be the one doing pretty much like 100% of the cooking and baking. But it's just a really lovely time capsule. And I had become aware of this when I started watching the vintage 1950s TV show Bride and Groom, the surviving uploaded episodes on YouTube. This started as a radio show in the 1940s and continued in television in the 1950s. It's a really like lovely like time capsule of the period. Like, you meet it lasts about 15 minutes. You meet the couple, like hear about their love story, how they met, etc., their plans for after the wedding, and you see the wedding in the chapel. They had like dozens and dozens of like clergymen to perform it, rabbis and Protestant ministers, no Catholics or Orthodox Christians, because they needed to be married in a church of that denomination for the marriage to be valid. But anyway, this Betty Crocker picture cookbook is one of the free gifts they gave to all of the couples. They got some really free gifts. And of course, this is the era when like nobody respectable lived together before marriage, so they really were starting a household for the first time, and they like needed a cookbook and furniture and a stove and all that fun stuff. So let's just open it. And on the back, they give a little thing like a preview of some of the recipes you will find in the book. Obviously, because I'm both kosher and vegetarian, there are a number of recipes I will not be able to cook or eat in the book. And in addition to like all the good like general cooking advice and cool vintage recipes, I also got this for research for my historical fiction in the 1950s, see what kinds of foods my characters would have been eating and cooking themselves. So this is like really like awesome, like first hand research. And I'm kind of disappointed they sent me the ring bound, even though I had ordered the hardcover. It was completely free because Amazon points, but they should have given me the hardcover and not the ring bound. And the ring bound is like more expensive. So definitely, if I had been paying my own money, I would have been annoyed if they gave me the ring bound, because like I just wanted an actual book instead of a freaking binder. But anyway, they have this like they have cardboard in the section, I guess, to protect it, and they have like common abbreviations, simplified measures, oven temperatures, contents of cans. This was before frozen food was really a thing. And then they have the little thing like right here, like it's organized by like types of food, appetizers, and they have all sorts of like interesting pictures. That's the real thing. It like shows you how to cook by showing actual pictures of the thing and how to prepare the food and just things like that. Early American dining room, like assuring success. Kitchens of 1950. What a contrast to our modern kitchens, like kitchen of 1750, like home of Betty Crocker service, new aids to homemaking, like just and it shows you how to measure. This is like presuming you don't really know much of anything about how to cook or bake or prepare food. So this was really helpful for the average housewife of 1950 and the man who was like cooking for himself, or who was like modern and enlightened enough to want to help out with cooking, or sometimes might have even been a better cook than his wife. And so like she would have left it all up to him. In the dictionary of special and foreign terms, some of these terms like you don't even need a definition these days because they've like just entered the lexicon so much. Like bread, bread is like, that's a noun, like brioche, like caramel. Who doesn't know what caramel and caviar are? Like crisp, cocktail, like Charlotte Chantilly, entree, eclair, and like useful kitchen utensils. Is this where they have the asbestos warming mats? They have like a coffee maker. Oh yeah, the asbestos mats to protect foods from direct heat. Waffle iron, teapot, pancake griddle of soapstone or heavy metal, like for top stove cooking, like kitchen forks and knives, like cookie sheet, ring bowl, and then storing foods. Again, this was just when refrigeration was starting to become into more and more like widespread use. Back in the day, a lot of people outside of cities, they just didn't have like electricity or running water or telephones or refrigeration. They had the old-fashioned like ice box or like pie oven, their pie stove, whatever it was called, to keep stuff fresh, and the substitutions that are safe. It's best to use ingredients the recipe recommends, but if you have to substitute, this list of solution lens. And of course, like if you're doing like vegan, you know what things to substitute for the actual for the dairy products and the eggs and stuff. Like reduce, if you are a good mathematician, you may safely reduce recipes, increase recipes, common food equivalents, like how to prepare melting chocolate, preparing nuts, good nutrition. Obviously this was when like just about everyone was being like pressured, oh, you have to eat all sorts of meat and dairy, you won't be healthy if you're not like constantly like gut loading yourself on animal products. Obviously things have very much changed since then, like vitamins and minerals, like off to a good start. Answers to questions on types of service on the table service. Like seriously, like I'm not that much of a like pretentious snob. I don't care how the table is set. Like appetizers, making a green cheese ball, like more appetizers, like familiar cocktails, breads, quick breads, like you see yeast bread. So this is really, really useful for anyone who wants to like get more into cooking, or just wants a little bit of a basic primer or primer on like mid the century cooking. Even though like a lot about the 1950s like makes me cringe, but you know, this is just a fun time capsule of a bygone world. Like who doesn't love food, even though a lot of other things about the 1950s like are just like so like depressing. I'm so glad we don't no longer live in that kind of like era with that kind of mindset and horrible things happening to people who didn't like fit in with the grain. Isn't this a lovely beautiful thing? I am really disappointed they sent me the ring binder when I ordered the hardcover, but you know, whatever, at least I didn't get charged any money for it, and it's still the same information, even though it's not presented in a book like I would have preferred. You know, like eggs, how to make eggs, like that, just looking through. And it has a little thing on the sides with a little tabs, so you can easily flip to them, like meat, fish, pies, salads, sauces, soups, super dishes or supper dishes, like how to make for the cocktail party, the company dinner. Do people even do like company dinners anymore, when the whole your husband's like boss and his coworkers all come to dinner? That seems such a thing from the past. I'm from, you know, store to range, just some really cool stuff. I'm gonna love doing this for myself and for like historical fiction research. And then the index, of course, like alphabetical by chapters, shortcuts, helpful information, meal planning, frostings and cookings. This is like for anybody who just wants, I can't say enough good things about what a nice source this is going to be. I do highly recommend this. And if you can, like, don't get the, well, I mean, the ring bound, there's nothing wrong with it. I sound like a broken record. I was just hoping for the hardcover, so it's like, you know, disappointing. It's so much easier to hold an actual like real book instead of a ring binder. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment. Let me know, have you ever used any Betty Crocker cookbooks, or do you have any experience with 1950s or other vintage cookbooks? What your opinion of 1950s cooking and life in general is. Have you ever watched the show Bride and Groom, or have you ever heard of it? And so thanks for watching all the way to the end, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.